Welcome to the Fabulous 50s and Beyond. I'm Jim Pollard, your co-host with my wife, Janetta. Today we're going to be talking about the Kentucky Senior Games being held in Paducah. This is the second year they've been held in Paducah, and I think that's an honor that Paducah gets to have the state senior games here. So we're going to be talking about that. Our guests today are John Gorrell and Amy Clark. You stay tuned and we'll be right back.
And he'd say, go with what you got. Start from where you are. Give it your best shot. Keep reaching for that star. Get in the race. Keep your own pace. Keep moving and never stop. Just go. Go with what you got.
Welcome back. We're talking about the Kentucky Senior Games being held in Paducah, Kentucky. What's the dates, guys?
September 29th through October 3rd.
September 29 through October 3rd. Mm-hmm. This is an exciting event. I mean, as we were talking earlier, the wife and I have been involved in senior games for about 5 years now, as participants and covering them for this show. And so it's exciting. I'm going to let her do most of the talking today, which is unusual, highly irregular. But she loves the games, and she can talk about the games. So, honey, it's yours.
I was reading in here, I read this book last night, as where it says that all attendees who are eligible to compete will be notified. Mm-hmm. So you have to have done something in the past. You can't just come in and start in the senior games, right?
No, you can. You just have to be 50 by the end of the year. So if they're 50 by the end of the year, they can participate whether they've participated ever before or not. And this year is a national qualifying year. So next year the nationals are in Houston, and so we have a lot of people that are coming in that are first timers that really want to play in the national games. So they're coming in to compete this year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were in Murray next year.
She's talking about national games.
No, yeah, the national. The state games are in Murray for the next 2 years.
You're
yes.
Right. Okay. I get state and national.
Right.
The way they set it up is they have the local senior games, and then the following year they have a national qualifying year.
And then so next year is the big year.
Yeah, this year, the state games, you qualify for the nationals,
right.
Which are in, I think, March, and they're in Houston. So anybody that qualifies in the state games this year gets to go to the nationals next year.
Okay, so I thought maybe it was that way with this, that you had to have qualified in the local.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you can just participate in any state games, and we actually have people come in from like Ohio and West Virginia and Tennessee, and they just travel around and compete in state games all over the country, and try to qualify for that national games.
Well, let me ask you about this. I know I will let you talk, but
you can talk.
If they come in from out of state, do they compete in a separate category, or do they all compete against in one big category, state and out of state?
They compete in one category, but they cannot knock a Kentucky state person from winning.
Okay, I knew that was that way on local.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I didn't know if that was the way on the state. Okay,
Yeah.
So you're in. You can win a medal.
Right. I said you can always tell the ones that are really serious about this by the way they're dressed. They come in those short shorts and they are ready to go.
They are.
But they have a lot of things too besides the running. They have the things that, I saw a woman there 90-something years old, and that's almost unbelievable, that they would get out there and still try.
Right.
And you see them with walkers, when the people are running, you see them with walkers out there just trying to do something, and that really impressed me.
Right. Yep, they're competitive all the way up to the 90s and in the hundreds. So
even in the hundreds, y'all have
we haven't, but there's an age bracket for 100 plus. So I'm guessing that in the past somewhere they've had people that old participate.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's something.
Well, tell us where it is.
Well, it's going to be all over Paducah, actually. The main registration point is going to be at the Civic Center, and then we have events all over Paducah.
We do. You touched on the fact that we have the running events. We have the 5K run, which will be held at Noble Park. But then we also have other track and field events that will be held at Paducah Tillman High School. But outside of that, we have cycling, which is being held out at the Information Age Park. We have racquetball and swimming being held at Paducah, the Paducah Athletic Club. We have basketball, volleyball, billiards being held at the Senior Citizen Center. We even have shuffleboard also being held at the Civic Center. So, wide variety of events.
The fun games, the cookie stacking and the clothes hanging, where are they going to? Are they going to be held at Civic Center this year?
Yes, they're going to be out there in the field right there in Noble Park by the Civic Center. That's where all that will be held.
Are they on Wednesday or Friday this
They're
year?
on Friday this year.
Which is the last Friday of the event.
Yeah, no, it's Wednesday through Sunday, and we just put them smack dab in the middle, so
But it's
they'll
the
be
Friday.
on. Yes, it's the Friday of the event.
Of the event.
They're held coinciding with the opening ceremony.
Right.
I won't do cookie stacking because they won't let me eat them.
That does put you at a disadvantage.
But they're a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
We had a lot of fun. We used to compete, see who could get the most medals, and after she beat me every year, I quit competing with her. But,
He won't run.
I won't run. No, I won't run. But she does, and so that's good. So they'll be coming here from all over then, from different states. Have you got any pre-registration from some far ways yet, or?
Not really. The registration deadline is at the end of August, so they're kind of just starting to trickle in. They haven't really started coming in yet. So I know last year we had a guy from Washington come participate, so and I'm expecting them from far away.
What is the fee for entering?
It's $35 for in-state participants and $45 for out-of-state.
However, there are additional fees on a couple of the events, such as the bowling and the golf, which is being held at Paxton Park.
But are those the only two additional fees?
Yes.
I do believe so, yes.
Unless you're bringing a guest and then you want them to eat, there's guest fees for meals. But other than that, that's it.
Why don't you tell us the different categories? Because I know they got archery this year, right?
They do. We archery will be held out at Noble Park. We'll probably do that out towards the Anna Balmer field out there. They will participate in.
Wait a minute, I want to talk about archery. Is it is it crossbow or is it straight bow?
It is. We actually have several different that you can actually compete in. The different competitions are conventional finger shooters. We have compound finger shooters. We have compound with release aids. So those are the three different categories that you can actually compete in archery with.
But they're all compound.
They are, yes. Or conventional, I believe, that actually is a straight bow.
Oh, okay.
Probably a recurve.
Okay.
You have a bow, so you can enter that one.
Right. Well, I have a crossbow, but I have a straight bow too. Yeah. But go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but you were started. But I wanted to know about the bow.
Well, I am learning a lot as it is for me because I've never really been around competitive archery, and actually this will be my first senior games as well. But the way I believe they have it set up is you have those three different divisions, then you have your different age groups that you'll shoot as well. You'll shoot from 60, 50, and 40 yards, each 5 ends of 6 arrows each. And you'll score on what they say is the 900 American round is how they're actually doing the scoring. So, like I said, I'm learning a lot as it goes as well. I don't know what a lot of that even means. So I'm learning.
I generally compete in the horseshoes because I like those. But man, I don't practice like I used to. When I was a kid and growing up, or when in my young adult life, my dad had pits behind the house, and he was real active in church, taught the young married Sunday school class. So almost every night it was horseshoes because we were right there. Had the pits lit.
Wow.
And and there were times that if Dad and I or my brother and I were pitching, we just one get at one end, one to get the other, and only horseshoes and only ringers counted. We just pitched ringers to see who could win. And so we got to be pretty good at it, but you got to stay at that. And now at my age, those horseshoes have gotten heavier too. But it's a lot of fun. Some of the other activities, I know, because somebody like me can take part in the horseshoes, and you got to talk. But go ahead.
Well, like I said, you did mention the horseshoes, and we do the horseshoes. We'll offer the standard horseshoes as well as a lighter set for those that do have some issues with holding up those the heavier shoes. Like I said, we've also got billiards, which is an event that obviously just about anybody can compete in. The Senior Citizen Center has a great facility that they let us use for that event. We'll have bowling at Cardinal Lanes. We'll have men's, we'll have women's, and we'll even have mixed pairs as well. So I mean, not only can you compete with yourself, you all can actually compete together if you wanted to. The same thing with tennis. We have mixed doubles in that one as well. Badminton, table tennis, swimming, softball, racquetball. That's just a few of them. I mean, that's so there's really is something for everybody.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you about the pool, but I've been over there to the Senior Citizen Center, and they got sharks over there. You
They
better
do.
get into that.
You better know what you're doing. I had the privilege of, when I was in college, working with the Callaway County Senior Citizen Center, and that was one thing that I was scared. That was a room I was scared to go into. I knew that I didn't have a chance.
Oh no. We did a show over there one time, and they were trying to get me to play with them, and I said, no. I watched them. I said, I don't think so. But senior citizens, senior centers are a lot of. I think they provide a great service for our community, and I think these games do also, because we close our show every time with the statement, "Use it or lose it." And I think that that's so important, because it has to do with our physical aspects and our mental aspects. If we don't keep using our physical body, it's just going to deteriorate. I mean, I've worn casts before, so I know. You know, I wore a cast on this wrist for 16 weeks one time.
When he was young.
Yeah, when I was young, and it just shriveled, to nothing. And so you've got to use your body, or it just breaks down. I mean, there are mornings I get up and I hurt bad, but I know I got to move. I got to move, or it's not going to get any better. And our mind is the same way. She's an avid reader, and now she plays. She does crosswords and things like that. I do mine on the computer. I do a lot of computer stuff, but we try to tell people, if you don't use your brain, you've got to keep your mind active, or it's just going to deteriorate down.
I think that's an important thing to remember, even as you're younger, as you move into your later years, is to even start doing those crossword puzzles and reading and finding ways just to exercise your mind, to really keep down the effects of dementia and so forth like that. But then also keeping your body as healthy as possible and finding ways to be active, even no matter what. As we have our cover of our Senior Games booklets this year, we have a quote from John Wooden. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do.
And that's so important.
It is.
It's so important.
Well, the physical exercise is so important to your brain too, as well as like reading and all these other things. That's extremely important.
It is.
Too.
Well, we've about finished half of this show. We need to take a break. So we're going to say, you stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Someday, I'll be a ballerina, just like them. And this will be my stage, where I twirl and float and swirl, for all the people looking at me. Someday, this won't just be my wish. Someday, I won't be sick.
And he'd say, go with what you got. Start from where you are. Give it your best shot. Keep reaching for that star. Get in the race, keep your own pace, keep moving and never stop. Just go, go with what you got.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about the Kentucky Senior Games being held in Paducah. We think that's quite a coup for Paducah. This is the second year in a row that they've been able to host these games. And I know that in the past, where they've had these games, facilities have been a problem. And I think that there's so much more here at Paducah I know when they were holding them up in the mountains, the scenery was beautiful, but finding enough facilities became a problem up there. And so I'm glad to see that we're doing it here again. And by the way, our guests today are John Gorrell and Amy Clark, and we're good to have y'all with us. You both represent Paducah Park Services, and they're the ones that, are you considered the host or the putting it? I know you're putting it on, so I guess you're the host, right?
Yeah. We applied to host the senior games a couple of years ago and won, and so we had it here last year and then this year.
Okay. I did not know how that came about, but I knew the different ones had put it on at different times. So you actually apply for it then.
Yes.
And do it. Okay. Go ahead.
I saw something interesting in this book. It says the competitors must not wear clothing that could impede the view of the judges.
I think the main point of that is just so that if it's not overly baggy clothing, they can see numbers, they can see just what the judges need to see in order to judge the event properly.
So don't wear a lot of clothes that are going to float around.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, that was interesting, because I never thought about that.
Well, they're doing a lot of things here that they don't do in local games. I mean, like volleyball. They haven't done volleyball in our local games, I don't think.
No.
I don't think so. And see, last year we actually didn't even have any teams register for volleyball, so we weren't able to hold it last year. But with the national games next year and this being a qualifying year, we're going to have probably double the registration that we had last year.
And that's also one of the differences this year is everybody has to compete in order to be able to qualify for nationals. If you show up and you are the only 50 to 59 or 50 to 54-year-old volleyball team, but there's also a 60 to 64-year-old, you all would have to play each other because you have to play at least one match.
But you both get to go.
You both
Right.
get to go,
'Cause you're
but
different
you do have to
ages.
play.
That's not a bad deal.
It is. It works out very well.
Yeah. In my age category, there'll probably be a volleyball team. I don't guess I could sign up as a one-man volleyball team.
That would be difficult.
But because I know they keep adding things. I mean, last year I think was the first year that we had bow and arrow in our regional game. But did y'all have that in the state game last year?
We offered it. It was another one that we didn't have anybody register for it. So, but the national games, there are gazillion events that you can have, and just
Really?
each state picks the events that they want to
I have a
host,
whole
and
packet
then-
of every single one of
Really?
the games that is offered. We don't, like I said, we don't offer all of them,
Right.
but this is a whole book of what they do offer.
It's amazing.
Everything
Yeah.
from yard bowling to
Croquet?
just to croquet. They do offer croquet. They offer different varieties of basketball shooting, 3-point shots, five position shots, just different things like
Well,
that.
are you doing the 5-position
We are
basketball?
the only basketball we're offering is the 3-on-3 for men, and then also 3-on-3 for women as well.
So you're doing that competition now on in the regional. We do the 5-point shooting, in the spots like that. But you're actually doing 3-on-3.
We are.
Yeah.
It's 3-on-3 on a half-court basketball.
That should be interesting.
There are some guys that I know out of Murray that are crack shots when it comes to basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Well, again, the dates.
September 29th through October the 3rd.
September 29th, October the 3rd. Closeout registration is
August 31st.
August 31st. So when they see this show, people, you got 1 day to register. And they need to understand this, and so it's real important that they understand that. Now, where can they get the packets?
They can download them online from our website or the Convention and Visitors Bureau website, the State Games website, and the National Games website. They're all there. We also will have some in our office at Paducah Parks, and then if they want to call, I'll mail them. I'll mail them out too. So.
It's a pretty good size packet.
Yeah, it's
I
like
downloaded
16
mine,
pages
is
or
where
something.
I got mine when
Yeah.
it was I downloaded it, and that's how I got mine. And the fee again is $35
For in-state,
For
45
in-state,
for out-of-state.
$45 for out of state.
They can also register online if they don't have, like if they see this and don't have the time to mail it in, they can go to the national website and register online as well.
Okay.
All right, what is the website?
It's nsga.com.
nsga.com.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because they'll need to know that if they're going to try to do that. What have we left out, people?
I can tell you that we have actually have had our first event earlier this month. We actually offered a triathlon in conjunction with a local business, Rehab Associates. This is the second year they have offered a senior, or not senior, but an adult triathlon at all. And we were able to allow those ages 50 and over to go ahead and qualify for the senior games in triathlon, which was not an event that we thought we were going to be able to offer. We had several people come out for that. We had a lot of locals, people from Paducah, Murray. We even had some from Illinois that came in as well. So we had some good times with that already. So that was exciting.
There is a banquet, or what is the I noticed in there's some kind of a banquet.
The reception. We're doing, on Friday is our welcoming ceremony, and we do a couple of awards for that, and then the fun day activities. But on Wednesday, if people want to go ahead and come in that day, we're having a dinner reception that night that's catered, and we're also partnering with PAX to do like nutrition bingo and stuff like that going on during the dinner. So we're trying to provide something for them to do for the people that come in on Wednesday.
Talk about that Wednesday night activity then, because I looked at it, didn't fully understand it.
It's still in the works, but Wednesday we'll have registration set up at the Civic Center all day long, so people can come in and get their packets, get their ID badges, get their tickets for lunches and that kind of thing. And then that night we're going to have it set up for dinner where they can come in and eat, and then we'll have the bingo going on during the dinner.
You said nutrition bingo?
Yeah, it's the Pennyrail Allied Community Services. They're doing like a nutrition bingo, and so I haven't actually seen the card, but I'm assuming that instead of like numbers, or it's going to be nutritionally based.
Oh, okay.
In other words, you can't eat the card.
No, it won't be edible.
You can tell I like to eat, right? But, well, that's interesting. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, that's just something that we started talking about the other day, so it's still kind of in the works as to how it's being planned.
Is that Wednesday night meal included in the registration?
It is. It's that's one of the guest fees that are additional, but yes, the registration fee for the participant, it is included.
Okay.
And do they have lunch every day? Or
No, there's a boxed lunch on Friday, but other than that, they'll have to provide
on
their
their
own meals.
own.
The two, I don't want to let's say this wrong, but the two main days, would that be Wednesday and Friday?
No, it's going to be Thursday and Friday. We have a few events on Wednesday afternoon, and then events all day Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday. And then Sunday, we have a few more events on Sunday.
I can give you a full rundown. On Wednesday, we're going to have our archery and the bowling, and then our dinner reception, also the table tennis. Thursday, we'll have the badminton, the billiards, the golf, and the shuffleboard. Friday, we're going to offer the fun day activities, the welcome lunch, the welcome activities. We also have the softball and the tennis. Then on Saturday, we have the 5K run, the basketball 3-on-3, the horseshoes, swimming, and the first part of the track and field events. I believe that's the track events are going to be done on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we'll finish up those with the field events. We'll also have volleyball and the cycling as well.
Okay.
So as you can see, we kind of try to spread it out just a little bit, but most of the events are on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, because we found out that a lot of people like to participate in more than one event, in several events, and so by spreading them out that way, they're able to do that. I'm sure Bo will be there this year.
Hope so.
Yeah.
He carries the torch for us.
Yeah. Will you do the torch ceremony here too?
I'm not sure. I think that's going to be part of the welcoming ceremony on Friday.
Okay. Very good. Well, again, go ahead. You were going to say something.
The only thing I was going to say is we have partnered with the Drury Suites and the Pear Tree Inn, a couple of the hotels owned by Drury in town, and they're offering special rates for people with the senior games. So they can check in there if they don't prefer another hotel.
Let me also say to you that thanks to the college here, our program is streamed on the internet.
All right.
So and they usually put the programs up ahead of time sometimes, and you could notify your outlying areas about some of the things that are going on, as well as like the jury and different things like that, where they could actually go up and see this show on the internet ahead of time, and they could see some of get some of the information about that also.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's Paducah2, the number 2.org.
Okay.
And then the television studios is where they can find all this information. So that's good to know. Yeah, we're fortunate now. We started out locally, and now we're worldwide.
All right.
Yeah, and a lot of people like that, because when we had different guests on, they say, "Well, how can my friends see this?" Or they're not
Yes,
in Paducah.
or can you get me a tape of it?
you know, and stuff
this
like
type
that.
of
So
thing.
now we just say, go to the web.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's good. Well, I was trying to think if we've missed anything, because we're almost out of time. It does move by pretty quick here, but again, it's the Kentucky Senior Games, and it's September the 29th through October the 3rd here in Paducah. Primarily, the center of activities is the Civic Center, right?
Yeah, that's where the check-in and all of that is.
And that's Cherry Civic Center.
Yes.
Robert Cherry.
I know we talk about it being Civic Center, but then we sometimes forget that we need to put the whole
Right,
name in
right.
there.
Robert Cherry Civic Center on the corner of Park and H.C. Mathis.
Right, so we need to do that. Well, listen, I appreciate having y'all here today with us, and we'll be talking about some other things that Paducah Park has going on maybe in the future. But it's been good to have y'all with us today, and we want to remind you about the Kentucky Senior Games and invite you to participate in them. Again, we emphasize it's really important that you participate physically, and also some of the mental activities. As seniors, we need to be involved in that. And as we generally say at the close of all of our programs, we want to remind you to use it or lose it, and we'll see you next time.
Can't see as well as I used to. Can't run as far or as fast. Sometimes I think that the old me is becoming exactly that. But when I start thinking of all I don't have, that's when I tell poor me Beethoven was 50 and deaf as a post when he wrote his Ninth Symphony. And he'd say, go with what you got, start from where you are, give it your best shot, keep reaching for that star. Get in the race, keep your own pace, keep moving and never stop. Just go, go with what you got. Excuse